It is Thursday of week 3, and if you're looking for some ads to make to win your fantasy matchup, I've got some recommendations for you using my model here. So this is it's a model that projects every stat category for every player in the NHL for any date range you set it to. So right here we have the full season. Everyone's playing 82 games. Here's some point projections. But for our purposes right now, we just want to know who's going to get the most points Friday to Sunday, because that's all that's left in the matchup. So I'm going to go to the settings here. I'm going to set a custom date range of Friday to Sunday, 24th to 26th. I'm going to go to this tab here, which creates a rankings of all the players. Re-rank it. I get a list of players ranked in value for Friday to Sunday. They're ranked by this column here, expected value, EV, which is VORP with a slight modifier, being this column here, schedule efficiency. So schedule efficiency is a variable I made up that quantifies how good your schedule is for fantasy purposes. So if you play lots of games on off nights, you will get a high value of schedule efficiency. And if you are always playing on packed Thursdays and Saturdays, you'll get a lower value. And so this modifies your overall value as a player, saying, yes, you're going to score all these points, and you're worth this much above a replacement player at your position, but you're also worth a little bit more or less, depending on how you can free up my schedule and let me make more streams, right? Get more games in. Obviously, these players aren't going to be available. So I'm going to turn this filter on here. This is going to filter out everyone over 40% rostered. You can actually set this to your own league if you have a Yahoo Public league. So this filter will give you exactly one-to-one who's available in your free agency. But just as like a general threshold here, I'm going to go with 40%. And here we have our list of the most valuable players you could stream based on their projections, their schedule, and their roster percent, assuming they're available. First up here, Yaroslav Askarov. And I know what you're thinking. This is crazy. And you're right. This is crazy. This guy's been awful. This guy has gotten blown up every game he's played this year. But hear me out, okay? He's going to play tomorrow on the back half of a back-to-back. And then the Sharks play again on Sunday. And if he plays well, which is a big if, they might start him on Sunday. There's a decent chance. Like if he plays well and wins, I think they go back to him. And so of any player on this list, you're not going to find another goalie that's going to get you 2 games somewhat reliably. And I'll filter for goalies here. Looking at all the goalies. So you can see Comrie gets you more than 1 game. So what's happening here is it's projecting he's going to play the back-to-back, the back half of the back-to-back tomorrow. And then there's a chance he plays Sunday. I don't think there's really a chance he plays Sunday. This is Connor Hellebuyck. They're not going to run Comrie 2 games in a row. But there's a chance. It's non-zero, right? Maybe Hellebuyck gets hurt, or maybe he gets pulled. So having a non-zero chance at a second game is worth more than no game. But everyone else here is going to play 1 game or less, right? So Askarov is has upside here. If you are way behind in your matchup and you need like a Hail Mary, this is your guy. He's going to face a ton of shots. The Sharks suck. If he plays well, he will get 2 games, and you'll get 2 games worth of points. It's hard to beat 2 goalie games with a stream, like with a single ad. That's huge value. And everyone else on this list is just a one-night stream. You know, there's plenty of other options, but these two kind of separate themselves, particularly Askarov. next I'm going to select just all the forwards. Okay, so we've got Will Smith at the top here. He's 36% rostered, so, you know, if he's available, I think it's an easy decision. He just came off a 4-point night. He's been consistently getting deployment the past 2 nights, and they're not going to take it away after this performance. This is just like an absolutely incredible option. Got some injured players in here. I'll actually just filter those out quickly. So we only have the healthy options. Vander King gets you 2 games, but one of them will be Saturday. Sean Monahan gets you 2 games, one of them will be Saturday. If you have space for them, those are fine streams. Kind of operating the assumption that you only have space Friday and Sunday, which means your options are players from Calgary, New Jersey, Winnipeg, and San Jose. And since Calgary, New Jersey had pretty good off nights already this week, they're more picked over than the other teams, I think. So if you can't get Will Smith, he's already owned in your league. Eklund's a pretty good consolation prize. He's coming off a 3-point night. Solid top 6 deployment, top power play. Friday, Sunday, that's decent value. We got a couple of Flames here, Coronado and Huberdeau, both off to a pretty cool start of the season, along with everyone in Calgary. So I try not to hold it against them too much. They're getting good deployment. Coronado's shooting pretty well. It's we're starting to run out of good options, but they'll play 2 games and they might get some points. And I think Jeff Skinner's probably like the your last hope. He's only 2% rostered, and same schedule as the other Sharks, right? He's got Friday, Sunday, getting more like middle 6 deployment, second power play, but it's a step above like anyone else that's going to get you those games, right? Blake Coleman, Dawson Mercer. Like there's more to pick through, but of the likely available options, I think these guys are who I would stream. And then, if you're feeling desperate, throw an Askarov in there. Go Eklund and Askarov if you can. Get some 4 games streamed into your lineup. But yeah, that's how this model works. What you kind of get, you can get a curated list of potential pickups in 30 seconds. If you end up taking one of my recommendations here, please let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear about how William Eklund went pointless. Didn't even register a shot on goal this weekend, and it's all my fault. I'd love to hear it.